In 1867, Kansas State University held its first commencement. 3 women and 2 men graduated that year. As the first land-grant university in the nation, this fledgling university had a vision of providing innovative education to all people. That early vision has continued through to the present, with over 250 majors and a diverse student body, including students from all 50 states and more than 100 countries. Becoming one of the nation's top 50 public research universities by 2025 is today's vision for tomorrow. With academic programs among the best in the nation and professors who are leaders in their fields, Kansas State University is an international leader in teaching, learning, service, and research. Today's graduates join over 200,000 alumni who are proud to call K-State their alma mater. Congratulations, and thank you to all those who have supported them through their undergraduate experience at Kansas State University.
be seated. It is my honor to welcome each of you on this joyous occasion. We in the College of Human Ecology join family and friends in celebrating the accomplishments of the graduating class of fall 2016. Now I invite you to stand and join Rachel Hunt, a senior in music from Manhattan, Kansas, and Stephen Kuchera, a graduate of Applied Music and Accounting from Kansas City, in singing the national anthem. Thank you, Rachel and Stephen. Please be seated. As I introduce today's platform party, I ask that you hold your applause until all are introduced. From my right, your left, Julia Day, Assistant Professor, Apparel, Textiles, and Interior Design, recipient of the Dean Barbara S. Stowe Endowed Faculty Development Fund Award. Dr. April Mason, Provost, Senior Vice President, and Professor in Human Nutrition. Richard Myers, President. Dr. John Buckwalter, Dean. Pat Keating, Keating and Associates, Inc., Commencement Speaker. Amy Button-Renz, President and CEO, K-State Alumni Association. Barbara Anderson, Associate Professor and Department Head, Apparel, Textiles, and Interior Design. Dr. Dorothy Durbin, Professor and School Director, School of Family Studies and Human Services. From my left, Dr. Shauna Jordan, Assistant Dean for Student Support, Assistant Professor, and a member of the Athletic Training Faculty. Rachel Hunt, vocalist. Dr. Craig Harms, Professor and Department Head of Kinesiology. Dr. Mark Haum, Professor and Department Head of Food, Nutrition, Dietetics, and Health. Dr. Kevin Roberts, Associate Professor and Interim Department Head, Hospitality Management. Dr. Brandon Irwin, Assistant Professor, Kinesiology, and recipient of the Dean Barbara S. Stowe Endowed Faculty Development Fund Award. Timothy Turner, Student Commencement Speaker and a degree candidate in athletic training. Michelle Toes, Associate Dean for Research and Scholarship, and Dr. Bronwyn Fees, Associate Dean and Professor, School of Family Studies and Human Services. Please join me in welcoming them. Dr. John Buckwalter, Dean of the College of Human Ecology, will present awards to faculty.
Thank you, Karen. While we have many accomplished faculty members in the College of Human Ecology, it is my honor to mention two outstanding faculty members this afternoon for special recognition. Although I will introduce them briefly, I encourage you to read about them and a brief description of the award on page 42 of the Commencement program. Faculty Award winners, please stand as your name is announced. Please hold your applause until both names are called. Julia Day and Brandon Irwin have been selected as the recipients of the 2016 Dean Barbara S. Stowe Endowed Faculty Development Fund Award. Will you join me in congratulating our 2016 Faculty Award recipients? Graduates, your families and your faculty are so very proud of your accomplishments. We expect that the future will hold great promise for each of you. Today we celebrate your accomplishments at K-State. Timothy Turner will represent the graduating class as the December 2016 Student Commencement Speaker. Tim, will you please join me at the podium? Tim will graduate with a Bachelor's of Science degree in athletic training and a secondary major in gerontology. Tim is the son of Chris and Debbie Turner from Lawrence, Kansas. He served as Vice President of Programming for his fraternity and was a member of the K-State Athletic Trainers Association. Tim also received the Hy-Vee Dr. Pepper Scholar Athlete of the Week Award and the Brian Shirk Memorial Scholarship. He completed a challenging internship with the Chicago Bears football team this summer and has served the Wildcat volleyball, baseball, football, and tennis teams as a student athletic trainer. Tim looks forward to being a positive change in the life of others and attending physical therapy school at the University of Kansas Medical Center. The College of Human Ecology is pleased to welcome Tim as he speaks on behalf of the graduating class. Congratulations.
First, I would like to thank Dean Buckwalter for the opportunity to speak in front of my fellow graduates. It's really an honor to be up here to address you all. Secondly, I would like to thank Dr. Shauna Jordan for all of her help and support. She has pushed me to reach heights that I didn't think were possible. Without her, I would not be in the position I am today. And of course, my parents, Chris and Debbie, because they've always been there to help me cope with the difficult times and celebrate the exciting ones. When I entered the College of Human Ecology as a freshman, I had a very narrow view of what the college had to offer. I had read a small amount about the kinesiology and athletic training programs, both of which I had interest, but I did not know what else the college possessed. Thanks to Dean Buckwalter's guidance, I gained a more appreciative understanding of what the College of Human Ecology gives every student that walks through its doors. My focus has always been on the physical side of things. For example, studying how the body works, figuring out what happens when something goes wrong, and then determining how we can fix those problems in order to maximize its potential. What I failed to realize is that there are many aspects to humans that need attention, and the people who will address these aspects are sitting in front of me today. From our early childhood development students, who help us understand what our children need and educate them to make an impact on the future, to the gerontology students like myself, who are discovering ways to maximize the lives of our aging population. These people are sitting in front of me today. But it doesn't stop there. Our personal financial planning program, which is nationally ranked and continues to perform at national competitions, teaches students how they will impact the financial health and literacy of their clients, an essential part of growing wealth and managing income. Our nutritional sciences and dietetics programs are setting the bar for research in what the body needs to take in to be healthy and increase longevity. And our apparel and textile students, who are paving the way for new designs and techniques in the latest trends of high fashion. And finally, the kinesiology department, which has sent students all across the country to help determine the next exercise program that will help our country fight chronic diseases like cancer and diabetes. Now, I only have about 3 minutes up here to speak, but if I had more time, I could go on and on about the rest of our majors in the college that continue to set a standard of excellence here at K-State. Now, our college offers a unique experience. As you can see, there are many different fields, specialties, and research outlets that allow our students to develop into tomorrow's leaders, whether that be designing the newest workout clothing for Nike or discovering a new enzyme that helps our body function. The College of Human Ecology has prepared us to make an impact on the world. Now, as many of you know, the motto of our college is this: in a world focused first on things, we focus first on people. And as I reflect on my 4.5 years at K-State, I find myself appreciating more and more what that statement truly means to me. It means that we must see the entire human that is impacted by everyday life. The family they have, the clothes they wear, the bed they sleep in, the food they eat, the relationships they build, and their physical health are all essential, especially if we are to understand how to affect them in a way that they never thought possible. K-State and the College of Human Ecology have given us the tools to make this happen. Finally, I want to express one message that was shared with me this summer by someone who I hold in very high regard. He said, "No matter what happens in life, always work hard and dream of the future, because if you don't believe in yourself to reach high goals, you may not have a chance to ever make them a reality." The door is open for the fall class of 2016. Now, it is our time to walk through it and make the difference we know we can make. Thank you, and go Cats! And now, Dr. Shauna Jordan, Assistant Dean, will now recognize students with academic honors. Dr. Jordan?
Thank you, Tim. It is now my pleasure to recognize students whose academic performance earned cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude honors. 14 have been awarded the designation cum laude. These 14 students have a cumulative K-State grade point average of 3.750 to 3.849. 11 students have been awarded the designation magna cum laude. These students have achieved a 3.850 to 3.949 K-State academic average. 9 students have been awarded the designation summa cum laude, the highest academic honor conveyed by the university. These students have attained a 3.950 or higher cumulative K-State grade point average. Will all of these students who have earned these academic honors please stand to be recognized? Will you please join me in recognizing them? Congratulations, students. You may be seated. Kappa Omicron Nu is a national honor society dedicated to recognizing and encouraging excellence in scholarship, research, and leadership in human ecology. Kappa Omicron Nu students and faculty are wearing cords today. Eta Sigma Delta is an international honor society for students with excellent academic record in the hospitality and tourism industry. The Eta Sigma Delta students are also wearing cords today. We have 2 students that have completed the University Honors Program, and they are distinguished by wearing medals around their necks today to signify their work in the research development ideas they had with a faculty mentor. At this time, I ask Associate Dean Bronwyn Feast to introduce our commencement speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan. It is my honor and privilege to introduce Pat Keating as our distinguished speaker today. Pat Keating provides internship and job opportunities for students in the School of Family Studies and Human Services Personal Financial Planning program. He founded his own financial services company in Manhattan in 1975, which specializes in comprehensive planning required to meet the needs of closely held businesses and their owners. Mr. Keating is a 1972 business administration graduate from Emporia State University and created the Entrepreneur Navigator system to help business owners and individuals pilot their way through personal and professional goals. He has offices in 5 Kansas cities, Lincoln, Nebraska, Chicago, Illinois, and Tumwater, Washington. Please help me welcome Pat Keating.
I was very honored when I was asked to speak to the graduating class. I'm not going to try today to help you understand about your education, because I don't even understand all the things that you do, which is pretty exciting. But I do hope to give you a little insight and experiences of what I've learned over the last 40 years of running my own companies. But before I do that, I want us to take the opportunity to thank your parents, your families, your teachers here at Kansas State University, your college friends, the staff and the employees at the university that helped you over these past years. And then I congratulate each and every one of you to have the perseverance, the stamina, and the courage to complete what you have done at this time. So hopefully, over the next 45 minutes, oh, I missed the hyphen, sorry, 4 to 5 minutes, I can leave you with a few bits of wisdom about what I have learned in running a business, and also what I have learned through the lives of my family and my friends. Having started my own company when I was age 25, yes, leisure suits, long hair, Ford LTD brown, I quickly learned a lot. I've been fortunate to have tremendous people around me. And over the years, we have built an organization, as well as my own life, on some very fundamental rules. So hopefully, these will be things that you'll find somewhere in this that may be of help to you. First rule, very simple: show up on time. Seems like it would be easy enough to do, but so many people, both in their business and their personal lives, are unable to do that. Second one, do what you say you're going to do. Again, seems pretty simple, but most of this time it's been very difficult to do that. The third one, simply finish what you start. You're an example of that today. You did finish it. How much simpler would your life be if everybody would just do that? And the fourth one, and perhaps the most important one, is to always remember to say please and to thank you to all the people that have helped you and will help you as you go forward. As you leave K-State, do not be afraid to ask those that have gone before you for help. They will be more than happy to help and will be encouraged by your excitement, your desire to learn from them. And then also, as you go through your career and through your life, you must always remember to reach back and help those that are coming behind you. It is critical that you become a great team member. You must not only be willing to help others become successful, but you must learn to develop great teams around you, both professionally and personally. It may sound strange at first to have personal teams as well as professional teams, but this is how you start to become very clear, very effective, and is the secret to having a balanced life. And since you're going to build great teams around you in both your business and your personal life, be sure to let those people know they're on your team. It's really important. Everyone likes to be on a team. Just like here at K-State, from the teams that you have been part of as you've been through school, accomplishing necessary tasks and projects to get your degree, to watching the sporting events and other types of university teams that contributed to your success. So don't be afraid to set up your own business and personal teams. And don't be afraid to step up and become a great team member for other people as well. One critical thing about having your own team is to remember to delegate to them, but never delegate your own genius, but delegate only to genius. So many people go through life delegating to availability and then wonder why those things do not get done and they end up coming back to you. And yes, there is plenty of genius in your personal life as well. Once you stop and think about all the people that you will work with in your lifetime and those people that you'll be around you in your personal life, you will see that this is true. I want to tell you a few things also that I have learned from my children. You can never have too many friends. Continue to be a great friend to your friends and continue to introduce your friends to your friends so they too can become friends. Never stop meeting new people. Do not feel you need to stay in a small group of people, whether that be a business or personal, but continue to expand your life so that you can learn from your new friends and your new friends can learn from you. One really critical thing may sound strange at a graduation ceremony, but you must remember, you work to live. You do not live to work. And whenever you get the opportunity to travel the world, you should. Because you will learn from people all over the world and understand their views that will make you a whole better person as you move through your life. I wish all of you a very bright, happy, and successful future. But you must remember, you must always make your future bigger than your past. And you continue to support and thank those around you. If you follow these lessons I've learned, from my family, and others, your life will be so much better as you go forward. You have already weathered the storm of many challenges and obstacles. You have developed many, many new friends, and you have learned and built the foundation to help you in the future. But your real education is just beginning. Obstacles will still be in front of you, even though the best part of your life is yet to come. Strive to make your future always, always bigger than your past. Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me visit with you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Amy Button-Renz, President and CEO of your Kansas State Alumni Association, who will bring greetings on behalf of the K-State Alumni Association.
Thank you, Pat, and I think your words were very inspiring. And you have a very successful business, and I think you were the perfect speaker for commencement today. So, congratulations. I am so honored to be here with you today and to be part of your special day, representing over 182,000 graduates of Kansas State University who will be your lifelong K-State family. Today, as we receive your degree, we are honored to recognize you and all you have accomplished. We are also here to welcome you to a new relationship with your alma mater. Our mission at the Alumni Association is to lead and inspire lifelong involvement that will benefit Kansas State University and all members of our Wildcat community. I would like to share 3 core values that guide us in our mission to keep you connected with K-State. The first one is link. The Alumni Association provides the lifelong link that alumni depend on to remain connected. You can stay in touch through hundreds of alumni activities held on campus, around the country, and even internationally. Another value is tradition. You will likely celebrate a few traditions as you sing the alma mater or take KSU photos at your favorite spot on campus. The third core value is purple. For K-Staters, it's more than a color. It's a symbol of pride and connection. When you see someone wearing purple, wearing their K-State ring, or even showing off their K-State PowerCat license plate, you will feel the sense of family. In recognition of your graduation, the College of Human Ecology and the Alumni Association are providing you with a complimentary 1-year membership to the Alumni Association. Enjoy the membership benefits and continue to be an active member. K-State alumni are among the most loyal in the nation. In fact, our membership ranks in the top 5 in the nation for the percentage of graduates who are members. That loyalty is shared nationwide by generation of K-Staters who have the same passion for K-State that you feel today as you earn your degree from one of the finest universities in the nation. The Alumni Association is also pleased to present you with an exclusive alumni business card holder. As you go through life and your titles and addresses change, please be sure to let us know. We want to make sure you are always connected to your K-State family. Congratulations, and go Cats.
Thank you, Amy. To the graduates of the class of 2016, your graduation is an important occasion. But in keeping with the theme that Pat has laid out about always saying thank you and please, I'd like to take a minute to say thank you to a special group of people. For the graduates, your family members and friends, many of whom are with us today, have helped you achieve your goal of earning a college degree. Will you join me in a round of applause to thank them? In addition, will the faculty in the College of Human Ecology rise so that we can thank and commend you also? And now, the moment we have gathered to celebrate. Will all the candidates for degrees from the College of Human Ecology please stand? By the authority of the people of Kansas and the Kansas Board of Regents, upon recommendation by the faculty, and upon completion of degree requirements, I am pleased to confer upon you the respective baccalaureate degrees you have earned in the College of Human Ecology at Kansas State University. You may now move the tassel to the left side of your mortarboard. Congratulations to all the members of the class of Fall 2016. You may be seated. At today's ceremony, I invite President Richard Myers, Provost April Mason, Assistant Dean Shauna Jordan, and Assistant Dean Karen Pence to join me for the presentation of diplomas.
Will the degree candidates from the Department of Apparel, Textiles, and Interior Design please rise? Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degree of a Bachelor of Science in Apparel and Textiles. Bachelor of Science in Apparel and Textiles, Erica Lauren Dodge. Samantha Renee Dryling. Ho Chin Lee. Ebony Simone Paul. Anna Nicole Tedder. Dr. Dorothy Durbin will present the degree candidates for the School of Family Studies and Human Services.
Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Family Studies and Human Services and Bachelor of Science in Personal Financial Planning. Will the degree candidates from the School of Family Studies and Human Services please rise? Bachelor of Science in Family Studies and Human Services. Communication Sciences and Disorders, Shelby Marie Allen. Cum laude, Kelsey Carolyn Biggenwalt. Summa cum laude, Honors Project, Ellen Elizabeth Bodine. Ariana Bell Haig, secondary major in gerontology. Secondary in gerontology, Emma Marie Kelly. Magna cum laude, Ashley Marie Schmelsley. Cum laude, Cecilia Taylor Smith. Summa cum laude, Jessa Catherine Steens. Magna cum laude, secondary in gerontology, Brennan Andrew Walter. Cum laude, Sarah Abigail Wood. Early childhood education, Taylor Elizabeth Baumgartner. Gabrielle Catherine Deloach. Courtney Ella Marsh. Jessica Carol Mingy. Family Studies and Human Services, Rotem Arieli. Cum laude, Aaron Keeley Backenstow. Mark Robert Behrens. Taylor Ashley Best. Summa cum laude, Kaylee Kimberlyn Boyd. Secondary in Gerontology, Nicole Marie Brower. Madison Marie Brumley. Julie Nicole Bywater. Martika and Renee Chappelle. Caitlin Elise Clark. Brooke Elizabeth Claycamp. Sarah Kelsey Colburn. Logan Darlene Derbyshire. Noelle Elizabeth Dykeman. Emily Ann Forgy. Angelina Marie Gonzalez. Magna cum laude, Mackenzie K. Greeley. Joanna R. Greenwell. Catherine Marie Lee Ping Ealing Gwynn. Jessica Nicole Harris. Kirsten Elise Hosey. Magna cum laude, Nicole Michelle Keith. Alyssa Gabriella Kelly. Morgan Julie Koenig. Krista Ann Kucharik. Summa cum laude, Michaela Sue Lehue. Siyu Lee. Lindsay Marie Leers. Cum laude, Sean Thomas Lindenberger. Caitlin Nicole Marr. Jordan Alexander Maley. Laura Marie Lidden.
That didn't sound good.
Emily Jane Meyer. Magna cum laude, Anna Christine Plum. Emily Christine Purefoy. Jordan Noel Randolph. Jackie Lynn Renneberg. Haley Paige Rust. Haley Marie Salyer. Nicole Pauline Schiavo. Kayla Nicole Schmidt. Lindsay Christine Schamberg. Cum laude, Amanda May Sloan. Lauren Alexandra Sokolowski. Allison A. Springer. Jill Marie Swart. Cum laude, Claudia Alexa Tadoni. Haley Morgan Thornburg. Caitlin Elaine Reese Valadez. Kristen Carey Wells. Haley Ashton Williams. Janae Elizabeth Winkler. Keely Roy Young. Bachelor of Science in Personal Financial Planning, Dominic Russell Crook. Dr. Mark Hobb will present the degree candidates from the Department of Food, Nutrition, Dietetics, and Health.
Will the degree candidates from the Department of Food, Nutrition, Dietetics, and Health please rise? Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Athletic Training, Bachelor of Science in Dietetics, and Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition. Bachelor of Science in Athletic Training, Carly Nicole Cubbage. Cody Laurent Derby. Summa cum laude, Cecilia Ann Lane. Michael Ryan Slish. Tyler Noram Tannell. Student commencement speaker, cum laude, secondary in gerontology, Timothy Ryan Turner. Cum laude, Bridget Westhoff. Bachelor of Science in Dietetics, Michelle C. Burse. Melanie Ann Coco. Andrea Marguerite Frankenfield. Danielle Renee McAdam, sorry. Whitney L. Nelson. Summa cum laude, Kelly D. Snow. Erin Kathleen Sullivan. Cody Scott Varner. Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition, Nutrition and Health. Secondary in Gerontology, Ashley, Claire, and Anne. Erin Christine Bennett. Honors Project, Alexander Jacob Fees. Taylor William Harris. Secondary in Gerontology, Hope Nicole Laban. Bobby Gail Ludjohn. Nutritional Sciences, magna cum laude, Wenting Guo. Cum laude, Megan Glenn McCullough. Karina Mendez. Dr. Kevin Roberts will present the degree candidates from the Department of Hospitality Management.
Will the degree candidates from the Department of Hospitality Management please rise? Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management and Bachelor of Science in Hotel and Restaurant Management. Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management, Alicio Ariola. Cum laude, Jordan Danielle Barton. Michelle Nicole Cameron. Daniel Patrick Carroll. McKenna Laree Crow. Cody Wade Duffy. Nicole Elizabeth Eck. Logan Marshall Edwards. Anthony Jerome Fink. Alicia Michelle Rover. Julia Marie Hudflis. Jonah Christopher Markovets. Jessica Christine Pickman. Mariah Macy Regier. Jessica Lauren Riley. Ashley Marie Rottinghouse. Kelsey Morgan Unrind. Brooke Marie Witt. Assistant Dean Karen Pence will present the degree candidates for General Human Ecology.
Will the degree candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Human Ecology please rise? Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Human Ecology. General Human Ecology, Bailey Ray Blair. Kelsey Grace Ludwig. Dr. Craig Harms will present the degree candidates from the Department of Kinesiology.
Will the degree candidates from the Department of Kinesiology please rise? Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. Dominique Matthew Adams. Kevin Allen Arnold. Emily K. Avazpour. Logan Edward Beard. Cum laude, Kimberly Allison Britton. Daniel Colson Broadus. Allison Louise Brown. Adam James Carney. Kyron Joseph Case. Secondary in Gerontology, Kayla Colvin. Janae Elizabeth Copeland. Secondary in Gerontology, Logan Michael Crawford. Jonathan Nathaniel Dirks. Hannah Marie Edgar. Edward Thomas Ernst, Jr. Justin Daniel Hahn. Austin David Howard. Lucas Truman Ingham. Janae Alishko Johnson. Magna cum laude, Evan Alexander Kemp. Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology and Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition Kinesiology, cum laude, Paige Marie Kokite. Trevor Joseph Coker. Rainus Kragers. Hayden Christopher Keeler. Nathaniel Adam McCorkle. Reed Hampton McMullen. Haley Christine McMurphy. Alexander Stephen Milby. Mariah L. Miner. Haley Marie Parker. Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology and Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition, Nutrition and Kinesiology, Shannon K. Parr. Michaela Victoria Palin. Luis Enrique Reyes Mendieta. Samantha K. Rutherford. Connor Britt Shelton. Dylan Andrew Splickle. Willie Robert Thomas II. Summa cum laude. Joshua Paul Tillotson. Kelly Ann Tinius. Lindsay Rose Ulmer. Dayton Lee Valentine. Braden Ray Wall. Brandon Ray Wall. Please join me in congratulating all of our new graduates.
I was stepping on my gown coming up the steps. So we're close to the conclusion of our ceremony today, but I'd like to say just a few additional things. Graduates, you came to Kansas State University from all corners of the world, and for a brief moment in time, your lives converged in the classrooms, laboratories, and studios in the College of Human Ecology. It has been for us a privilege to help you learn. From here, your lives will once again diverge as you pursue advanced degrees and careers, and as you follow your passions through yet unknowable life pursuits. As you start your new lives, I'd like to challenge you to do 4 things. First, be generous with your time and talents. As college graduates, you truly are a privileged group, and you can think of the service that you provide to others as the rent you pay for your place in this world. Second, I would encourage you to stretch beyond your comfort zones. Read a book that requires you to keep a dictionary close. Sleep in a tent. Volunteer in another neighborhood. In that massive area outside your comfort zone, you will learn about yourself and the real world. It's where the really important stuff happens. It's where the magic happens. Third, keep the horizon in sight and your mind open. Sure, set goals for yourself, but make those high goals. If you reach all your goals, you're aiming too low. Change your mind, that's fine. It's never too late to go a new direction. If your time after graduation is like mine, your life will be shaped by ideas and technologies that have yet to be developed. Embrace the idea that this is not the end of your education, but only the beginning. And finally, and most importantly, continue to support the cats. At some point, give a K-State graduate a job. Refer a student to the College of Human Ecology, and always stay connected to your K-State family. As you leave this great university, you take with you the best wishes of the faculty and staff. We wish you satisfaction and success in all of your personal and professional endeavors. Once again, congratulations and best wishes to the College of Human Ecology graduating class 2016. At this time, I would like to invite you to stand and join Rachel in the singing of the alma mater, The First Time as Alumni. The words are printed on page 3 of your program if you haven't memorized them yet. And at the end of the refrain, will the audience please be seated for the recessional?